What's good, everybody? This your boy D Money. We on another episode of Rulers Universe. So make sure that you like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, so that way they can see the gems we drop in here at Dreams of Rulers. I appreciate all the day ones for constantly helping us to grow, and you know it starts here with Rulers Universe. What we gonna tap in today is the From the Mud short film Part 3, the Roots series that we got going on right now. And Part 3 pretty much talks about the beginning, before Dreams of Rulers, who I was before the brand. What did the environment teach me about clothing, creativity, survival, and identity? Why the streets became my first classroom? Because I was in the streets when I was 3 years old, riding, around with my cousins who were, doing their thing in the streets. You feel me? And ultimately, that was my, opening, beginning with the streets. We, were raised in the suburbs, but we always played in the streets. That's the difference between being influenced by your environment and being defined by it. The soil, everything comes from the soil. Soil represents environment, struggle, culture, family, experiences, and memory. Why you can't understand the fruit without understanding the soil. How where you come from becomes part of what you create. The street was the first luxury house. The street taught people how to, create style without having, access to luxury. Improvisation, customization, confidence, individuality. The street culture developed its own visual language, and that's why, street fashion deserves to be discussed beyond the word streetwear. I call it, dreams of rulers, because what does a ruler actually represent? Not wealth, but ownership of your identity. The idea of living like royalty before anyone recognizes you. While the brand is about becoming rather than, simply looking for success, is because we're all on a journey. And each collection is a symbol of a growing season. And in order to, become the best version of yourself, you got to go through these seasons. You feel me? Just like a plant, the root of street luxury, traditional luxury, and street fashion historically existed in different worlds. Street culture began, influencing luxury. That's where, you start to see other brands start to tap in from the street culture with luxury, and a new category began emerging between the two. Street luxury isn't, putting a hoodie with a logo. It's beginning luxury standards, storytelling, craftsmanship, and philosophy into street fashion. The difference between streetwear and street fashion: streetwear became a commercial category. Street fashion is broader. It's culture, individuality, lifestyle, environment, and personal expression. Dreams of Rulers identifies with street fashion, not simply streetwear. The importance of building a language instead of following a category. That's where From the Mud comes in. The mud actually represents failure, rejection, poverty, doubt, mistakes, uncertainty. The mud isn't something to hide from. That same soil creates the struggle that can create the vision. What can you build from what you've been given? Whatever you put your mind to. It's all up to you. The roots of the designer is where, your taste came and comes from. What shaped my eye? I saw that, there was a lot of aesthetics out there to really tap into abstract and surreal art, and to actually be able to explain visualizing your purpose and living like royalty in so many different ways. That's why, I'm able to implement poetry, graphics, tailoring, culture, music, and my life experiences becoming part of my design language. When I did realize, I wasn't just making clothes, I was building a world. I started building, Ruler's Universe, the brand before the business. Dreams of Rulers existed as an idea before it existed as an actual successful business. Why philosophy has to become before the product? That's simply because, without building something, without having a philosophy, you can't build something with meaning. And what happens when a brand has products but not an identity, doesn't have a foundation? And I'm more interested in building believers than chasing transactions. The difference between selling something and giving someone something to believe in. The roots of the Constitution, principles that dreams of rulers refuse to compromise on, is purpose, taste, discipline, independence, authenticity, and growth. Why a brand needs principles strong enough to survive trends is because the roots represent, not just the past, but their foundation. The growth doesn't, mean abandoning where you come from. Every collection should grow from the same philosophy while becoming something new. From the mud is the foundation. The roots explain, the tree that exists. The real question is, what are you growing? Everyone comes from somewhere. Everyone has soil, but are you producing from it? Are you allowing your environment to limit you? Are you turning your experiences into something valuable? The roots determine how deeply you can grow. Before there was a crown, there was the soil. Before there was the brand, there was just belief. Before there was dreams of rulers, there was just a constant dream. And before the world could see what I was building, I had to understand who I was and where I was coming from. So we all got to do the same thing. We all got to understand who we are in order to build something from scratch to reality. So, like I always say, it takes a solid plan, it takes a vision, and it takes you to understand your purpose in order to execute, in order to achieve your dreams and goals. You have to do the research. You got to put the time in and the work. And that's, just what it is for everybody. But a lot of us, what I'm saying, we overthink. We're scared to, step foot on that journey. But the longer that you wait, the longer it won't happen. And I, encourage you today to hop on that journey as soon as possible. Don't try to make things perfect because the more that you grow, the better that they will get. So start today. Start winning. Start succeeding on your own because nobody will save you. Your job won't save you. Your employer won't save you. Your friends won't save you. And your family members definitely won't save you. It's all on you. Start visualizing, and I'm out.